Would you like to know a simple way to improve your pelvic floor function? Stats say that 15 to 30% of women experience organ prolapse, where the pelvic organs actually come through the pelvic floor musculature. And 18 million women experience urinary incontinence. Ugh. This is terrible. But there's a simple way to remedy this. Also, men, don't think you're excluded. Men experience too, just not as great in numbers. Some people believe this is inevitable, but it's not. And learning how to do this great elevator ride breath is a great place to start. So, come to find out, it's not all about and only about Kegels. It's super important to learn how to release and relax the pelvic floor too. A chronically tightened pelvic floor renders it pretty much useless because it's chronically tight, which means it gets fatigued, which means a fatigued muscle cannot be strengthened. And so in this breath technique, we learn how to not only strengthen on the exhale breath, but also release on the inhale breath. It's a little bit backwards to what you might be used to. So let's point out kind of what we're talking about anatomically here. So this is your thoracic cavity from up here to your diaphragm. The diaphragm is that muscle that separates your thoracic chest cavity from your abdominal cavity. Very important respiratory muscle, okay? And then we have the pelvic floor, which is at the bottom of this abdominal cavity, all right? Super important. It's like a sling of muscles that support the pelvic organs, reproductive and your bladder and bowel organs also. So in order to take a nice deep breath, our diaphragm pushes down to make this chest cavity area larger to bring air in. When we allow the abdominals to relax, the diaphragm can go down and then the abdominals move forward, okay? So that requires that we release these tightened, sometimes overly tight abdominal muscles. As that diaphragm goes down, the pelvic floor, if we allow it to relax, descends too, because then that pressure goes down into the abdominal cavity, okay? Which is, again, so important to allow those muscles to release and relax. And then when we when we exhale that breath, the pelvic floor rises at the same time as this diaphragm raises up. So it kind of acts like a piston action. So inhale, exhale. And we relax on the inhale. We loosen those tissues on the inhale. And then we have an opportunity to strengthen the pelvic floor on the exhale by elevating that pelvic floor up. So think about those pelvic floor muscles. They attach to the symphysis pubis and back here on the sacrum and tailbone. And then on the two ischial tuberosities, kind of your sits bones. So there's kind of a diamond shape. Okay, so they kind of act like a hammock or a sling for these important organs. So when we relax, we just really let them relax. And then when we exhale, we think about those muscles lifting, 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 like an elevator, moving up. So let's practice that. So exhale your air out. So let's inhale. And then exhale. Lifting, lifting, lifting. Inhale. Let the abs relax, let the pelvic floor relax, and then exhale. Draw the abs in and lift the pelvic floor up. It's kind of an upwards, inwards motion. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Our abdomen, our belly actually goes out and in. So that is the elevator breath. So you can practice this anytime during your day-to-day. You can practice it while sitting, lying down, just feeling those things, that having awareness of those things shifting. So lying down, sitting, kneeling, standing, walking. And as you can integrate this breath so often during the day that you actually are strengthening and softening like all day long, which makes for a very healthy pelvic floor. A strong pelvic floor is insanely important to a good core, a strong core. And a strong core converts to better posture. And also a strong pelvic floor, strong core, converts to better running, better jumping, and less leakage in running, jumping, sneezing, coughing. So we can't just ignore this anymore, and we can't just think, oh, maybe I'll have to have surgery to take care of it. There are things you can do, and I'm going to create some more videos on stretching this area and also some specific exercises to help strengthen this area. But kind of mastering this breathing technique is super important and super easy, and it will help you bring more awareness to the area that we call the pelvic floor, that very important set of muscles that hold us together. So keep an eye out. More to come on the pelvic floor. Thanks for watching.